Hi everybody, welcome back to Your Skin's Gym, the place where you leave feeling good in your skin by working out the inside to feel better on the outside, not the other way around. I'm your host, Rio-Madison, and we're all very excited to be here today. Before we get started, just want to say we're definitely not doctors. I'm a certified holistic health coach. These are my cousins. We're going to have a chill conversation today about men's mental health, and we're also just going to see where it goes, a little health and wellness oriented, but also an open conversation because my cousins are visiting me and I thought it would be fun to have them on the podcast. So with that, take what you need and leave the rest. It's okay if it doesn't resonate with you this time around. And we're just going to have fun today. So I'll let them introduce themselves.
I'm Vincent. I'm 24. I almost forgot my age for a second. Little nervous, but I'm excited to do this. It's my first ever podcast, so we'll just see how it goes. I'm excited.
Woo!
My name is James. I'm 23 from New York, and I'm excited to be here.
Yay! And with that, we have a little champagne.
Are you going to hold this mic for a second?
Woo!
All right, good.
Hey!
There we go. Arriba, abajo,
Oh, yeah.
a centro,
I want to put this in the frame of the...
up, down, middle, in.
Is that Italian?
No, it's
They're similar.
well, cheers.
Cheers,
What are we
guys.
cheersing to?
The podcast?
Family?
And,
Yeah, family podcast.
Family, podcasting,
Good weekend.
and following your dreams.
Yeah. Cheers.
So we'll start off the same way I usually do. Ask you guys a challenge that you're maybe facing right now or that you've faced and have somewhat overcome or feel like you've overcome. It can be as big or small as you feel like sharing. But yeah, what's a challenge for you guys?
One of mine would probably just be wanting to get out of my parents' house. I mean, I tested it for like 9 months and then kind of didn't work out the way I was hoping for it to. So I came back and now I just started my own media company. So that's going well and finally starting to make money with it. So hopefully that's going to be the key to get out. And then I'm still working at the family restaurant 5 days a week. So the combination is like double income, which is nice to have now.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm definitely more financially free than I ever have been. So it feels nice to have income and be more on my own than I ever have.
Mm-hmm. Cheers to that.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I thought about this a lot recently, and I feel like I'm very grateful for where I am right now because I feel like I just like overcame a lot of the challenges that I was struggling with for the past year. Especially like the past month, it's probably like some of the best, like most happiest times I've had in my life. So, not to say that I don't have any challenges. I just think they're insignificant and they like
In the bigger picture of
the
things.
bigger picture, but also just like I wake up every day. I'm just happy. I'm stoked. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have a lot of good stuff going on. So I don't really have anything that would come to my mind just because I feel like the past like year was pretty challenging, and then coming out of it, this is like I feel like I don't know. It's like it just feels
You're
really
kind of
good.
like on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not like I'm peaking, but like I feel like it's getting a lot better, and like it's definitely like upward trending, and
Which is
day.
always good.
Yeah.
So
Well, you kind of just came out of what Vincent's challenge is because you were back home after being away.
that was really hard. But
that is hard, especially our age and after having an experience of being out of the house. And I'm 26 too, so like early to mid 20s, and having that time of being out of the house and then going back and living with parents.
It's definitely weird.
Yeah.
Dynamic to get back into, like living on your own. You just feel totally free, and then you go back to living with your parents, and you gotta abide by their house rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't mind everything about it. I still like it. Like, it's still nice to come home to home cooked meals and everything all the time, and like know that I have a nice house to live in. But like, I do definitely want to go out on my own.
I don't care to live at home anymore.
You never liked living at home, though.
Yeah, I never did.
You've always
never will.
I also never really got the experience to go to college, which I kind of wish I did, just to
Yeah.
like expand my knowledge on a bunch of things, and even just gives you a little sneak peek of living on your own, which I never got to do, which kind of was my little move to Florida, was kind of just
Right.
like to see what it feels like. And I really did enjoy living on my own. I just really wasn't doing enough down there to like have a stable income to afford it long term. So I'm happy I did test it. I learned a lot of stuff about myself and just in general. And
Yeah.
now I'm definitely leaning towards doing it again. Where I'm going to move, I don't know. I definitely do like the city. I just came to Boston for the first time, and I love it,
How do
actually.
you like this compared to New York? How do you like,
Like
Boston,
Boston?
compared to New York?
To me, it has a very similar vibe. It's just so much cleaner and calmer. And, like, I was saying last night, we went out to the bar, and I was saying to everybody that it was, like, reminds me of Hoboken.
Yeah.
So it's, like, cleaner and nicer, essentially. Like, I don't know. I definitely do enjoy it, and they have all like the same stores, restaurants, coffee shops, like everything. So it definitely has like a New York vibe. It's just a little different.
Yeah, a little mini.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the Boston Times Square I said reminded me of like being in like Universal.
Yeah,
almost.
like
yeah, I felt
Hollywood.
like I was on like a movie set, but I liked it. Like it was in a good way.
Mm-hmm. What you said that like you learned a lot about yourself having that moment of living in Florida. What would both of you guys say that you like learned the most about yourself once you lived out on your own for the first time?
You want to go first?
I don't know. I mean, for context, I went to school in LA. So I lived there for like 3-4 years. Before that, I went to school somewhere else for another year, and then the past year or so I
Ohio,
was just
right?
Ohio, and then the past year or so I was just traveling around. So I haven't really spent extended time at home in like 5-6 years. So I'm pretty used to it at this point.
Yeah, that's like a long time ago now.
Yeah.
And you've also put yourself in other situations too, where you're not in like a totally stable environment. Like you stay in all the
Yeah.
hostels
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. So you've put
Done a lot of
yourself,
traveling.
yeah, and
No.
you've put yourself out there a lot. Where it's like, I feel like any like little challenge you can get into, you know how to like, navigate through it now because you've done so much like unique things like that most people don't do.
Well, I will say, like, I don't know if this necessarily applies to like living on your own, but when you're going places on your own, when you're traveling on your own, I tend to notice like there's two things that you need. One is like the logistical like ability to like coordinate like where you're staying, when you're leaving, just like all the logistics of a trip, like the cost, budget, food, like all that shit. You need to be able to do that, and you also need to have like a social battery, like if you're by yourself,
True,
to go
yeah.
out and meet people, and like to do both at the same time is very exhausting. That's why it's kind of good to have like one person, where it's like one person can set up like the activities or trying to meet people or like dinners and bars or whatever, and then the other person can like book the flights and the buses and all that stuff.
Yeah, doing all that on your own.
So-
Having a social battery, like you were saying, is definitely huge too, because you have to be able to network and meet people. And even like in the future, if you ever go back to those places, you have somewhere to stay or you have people to show
Make
you around.
connections.
So usually whenever I go places, I'll like find someone relatively early on and just like buddy up with them and like make it a little bit easier. But I don't know, I think living on my own is super easy. I honestly prefer it to living with anyone else.
Yeah. Do you like having the roommate, or would you rather have a single, like your own apartment?
I haven't lived with a roommate yet who has like made my life easier. Not to say I've had bad roommates,
Yeah.
like they've all been great. It's just like I've also lived on my own,
Mm.
and like that's just been more efficient for me personally. But my roommate
your
so
work
far,
phone.
I don't really know him too well. He's cool. We went to school together, and it's nice just given like I work like 10 hours a day, then I go to the gym, and I have like all this other stuff going on, to come home and like that like 30-45 minute like wind down time to have like a little bit of social interaction when like I do a lot of stuff on my own is nice, you know.
That's true. I feel like that could be arguable on the other end too, like coming
Yeah,
home after
you
a
don't
long
wanna
day, you
deal
don't
with
want to talk
anyone,
to
yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I won't talk to him if I don't want to, but like
Yeah,
not
why
in a
don't you
mean
share
way.
your morning routine?
My morning routine?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't talk to anyone for the first like 20 minutes of my day.
Yeah. Yesterday morning, woke up making coffee. Vin, you want anything? Make him a nice iced coffee. James, you want some coffee? I don't do anything for the first 20 minutes of my day.
Yeah, I don't talk to anyone. I don't touch my phone.
You just had an,
No, that's
you had an
chill,
airplane
though.
pillow over your head.
Yeah, I just try to be mindful and just think about intentions or reflect. Honestly, it's a little bit different every day.
Yeah, but I feel like that's also how you fill up a social battery.
Yeah.
Like taking that time for yourself, even if it is the first 20 minutes to set yourself up.
Yeah.
Which morning routines, I feel like having a good morning routine is definitely like sets the tone for the day too. So it's
Totally does.
If you, I don't know, some days obviously you're not going to be perfect and follow it to an exact T, but at least to have some sort of a structure in it, like sets your whole tone for the day and like everything that you're going to be doing. Like, I don't know.
No, yeah.
I've been trying to like come up with one that works good for me, and I'm still tweaking it a little bit, but I mean, it definitely does help to like get started with everything.
Yeah.
That's the extent of my morning routine. I do a lot of stuff throughout the day, but it's hard for me to go to bed earlier than 1 a.m.
I
Really?
feel that.
Yeah. So
I go to bed at 8, guys.
yeah, no, it's hard for me. Like, it's very hard for me to go to bed before 1 a.m. So I tend to wake up, go to bed around like 1. I'll wake up at like 7:30. I'll lay in bed for the first 20, 30 minutes, get out of bed around 8, make breakfast, shower, then I go straight to work.
You have work at like 9, right?
Yeah.
Normal day?
I mean, sometimes earlier. This past week I ran before work twice, which was fine.
Yeah. Which we just signed up for a half marathon.
Yeah.
Well, you signed up earlier. I signed up last night, so
Yeah.
that should be
Wait,
interesting.
where is that one?
In Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, it's the Prospect Park one again.
No, different
Oh.
course.
Okay.
Which I was tempting to do a half marathon in Florida when I lived there, and I totally
What time of year?
busted my back.
You're not gonna bust your back. You're gonna sweat your balls off.
Yeah.
in Florida.
It was, I don't know, I forget what time of year it was, but I remember like my mom booked a flight to come down and watch me, and then I
remember she was
hurt my
pissed
back.
about
Yeah,
that.
I hurt my back deadlifting, and I was like, I can't even run. I tried to run the next day, and like every step would just like hurt my back like really
That
bad. So I
sucks.
was like, I still tried to like get through it, and I would like even just walk to like keep my cardio up, and then yeah, it got to the point where I was like, I can't even do this. So I called my mom, and I was like, listen, I'm sorry, I can't do the thing. And she's like, it's fine, I'll just come visit you for a week. So it ended up working out. But
Yeah.
now I'm trying it again. I have less training time. The last time I had like 3 months to train. Now it's a month. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
excited.
it's crunch time.
Yeah. And like you said, like I'm like, I don't think I can do 13 miles. But then you said once your adrenaline's kicked in too, it makes it so much easier.
I think anyone.
And plus the view is going to be nice in Brooklyn versus the one I was going to do in Florida was just a straight like 8 laps around some like pond, and you just keep doing it over and over and over again. And I feel like that almost makes it worse because you see the finish line like the whole time, and you're just thinking about like finishing the entire
Yeah, I
time.
feel like you're just counting.
Yeah,
You're like
versus
6
rather-
more, 5 more.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like when
versus
you're on
rather
the treadmill
enjoying
and you
it
have
more.
the screen right in front of you. Every time
Yeah.
I'm on a treadmill, I put a towel over the
That's why I
screen.
hate
don't
running on
care.
treadmills. One, because there's nothing to look at unless you put like a YouTube video or something on.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, I don't know, I hate running on treadmills. Same thing. I'm looking at the time the whole time, counting
Yeah.
down how much more time I have.
Yeah, but I will say though, I think a half marathon is a very realistic and achievable achievement for
Yeah.
everyone, no matter like who you are or your like athletic background. I think if you just like practice,
Put your mind to it. You could do
yeah,
it.
and like
Yeah.
honestly, when I
Full
so-
marathon's probably a little different, but a half marathon's
No,
very
I mean,
doable.
I think like you'd really be surprised. So before I did my half Ironman, I went to go see one of my friends do one, and this was like in Oceanside, Southern California, and I was like watching these people run, bike, all this stuff, and like I was just so amazed because I saw like people with like physical disabilities. I saw like little people. I saw people like biking with like a carriage in the back, like bringing someone who like wasn't able to walk, and it's just like I saw like big people. It's just like
It's inspiring. Like if they're
well, it's
doing
just,
it,
like,
I could
these are the
totally do it
people
too.
that
Yeah.
are least likely to do this stuff, and they're like doing like the peak level of like endurance activity.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm in shape. I'm 22 at the time. I have zero excuse to not be able to do this. So it's like, I think anyone who says they can't do a half marathon is just lying to themselves. So
Definitely.
I think you, especially given a month and like you're ready in shape,
Yeah.
like you're gonna complete it no matter what. But it's just a matter of how fast you do it.
Yeah, I do want to set like a pace goal from not necessarily like a pace per mile goal, but I want to just set like a time frame I want to finish in.
Yeah.
Like I think a sub 2.5 would be good.
Yeah. I mean, I still think a half marathon's awesome, but I think like like it should definitely be like an introduction to like that type of
More
achievement,
endurance type, yeah.
because it's like it is so achievable. Not to like discredit anybody from doing it, but like that's kind of why it's cool, because it's hard, but it's so achievable.
Yeah.
I feel like that really proves the power of what our bodies are capable of when you set your mind to something. Like that is the mind-body connection.
Yeah.
All the different people you described doing the half marathon, when you set your mind to something, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even with physical stuff, like anything, mental stuff, like work. Like
Yeah.
Everything.
When you do like endurance sports, like the two things you really train are your mind and your heart. You're training your heart to be at like an elevated heart rate for extended periods of time, because like if you just tried to run a marathon tomorrow, like there's a pretty good chance you would have a heart attack, just because you have no like
Your
you know
heart's
what I mean?
not used to that.
Yeah, you have to train your heart to be beating it like between 130 and like 160 for like hours at a time, which is like, it's new to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing, and then the second thing is just the mind. Like, you just have to train yourself to like
Just get through
enjoy it or get through it.
I was told, like, because when I was training for the half marathon, I remember I talked to your mom a little bit too, because I know she runs, and she told me, and somebody else I was talking to both said, if you can do, it was either 6 or 9 miles. I think it was 6. Like if you can run 6 miles, you can do a half marathon. Like once you get past like that halfway point, like, or once you like have the endurance enough to do 6 miles, like it's just.
Yeah.
Then you get like a runner's high too, which I experienced when I was training. Like I would all of a sudden like be like winded, and then after like 5-6 miles, and then like something would just come over you, and you just like totally, you lose your cramp, you like, and you feel like you can just run forever, especially when you have like music playing too. It just puts you like in a mood.
Yeah.
For me, when I did my training, you're not allowed to listen to music to do an Ironman.
You're not allowed to, like, while you're doing the race.
Well,
actually,
don't you
it's a safety thing, because
at a half marathon, can we put like AirPods in?
you can't, like, it's a safety thing. There's no
What if I
music.
put it on my phone?
No, in the half marathon, yeah. I'm saying
Oh, okay,
like, with
okay,
Ironman specifically, since
Is that
like
because of just earpieces and what can be communicated through?
I don't know if it's because of that, but
Well, also
honestly,
you have to do a swim. So like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna like leave your AirPods
no,
on?
I
Somebody's
Not in
gonna
a
wait
half
for you.
marathon.
Yeah.
it's
Like,
mainly because of the bike. A lot of people have died.
That's true, 'cause you
Biking,
can't hear
because they're
cars.
going.
yeah.
A
Or
lot
like
of people.
behind them.
Yeah, it's just like you're going high speed, and like everyone's fucking tired, and there's sharp. I don't know. It's just like a lot of people have died doing it, so there's no AirPods or music really allowed. So I think that kind of intensifies like the mental aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I don't even really remember what I was thinking when I did it.
When you signed up for it, or when you were actually
when I
doing
was
it?
actually doing the race, I don't really remember what was going through my mind like the whole time, but I definitely was enjoying it.
What's the order of the Ironman? And I was also curious if every Ironman is like in the same order, or does it just depend on the race?
They're all the same order.
It's all the same order.
Ironman, triathlon, same order. It always will be. That's the.
And you said
I believe it goes all the way back to like the original Olympics. I think that's where it came from.
And you said it's swim first, then bike, then run.
Yeah.
And you told me last night, you said you thought the biking was the hardest part of it.
Well, the biking is the longest in terms of miles and time, regardless of like how fast you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some people might find a run or a swim more challenging than a bike, but like it is the furthest in distance and longest in time, so it's definitely
Yeah.
it's like 65% of your race, so it's like it's a big thing. That was a big reason why I got the time that I did. I wasn't as fast on the bike as I would have liked.
Which I feel like you trained.
Yeah,
you
you
trained
trained
the bike the most.
Yeah.
Right?
Me?
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
Oh.
I feel like
I underestimated the bike, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The thing that you're supposed to do is you're supposed to practice doing 2 at a time. So you do a swim into a bike,
Okay.
and that's a singular workout. Or you do a bike into a run.
Yeah. If you're not used to the combination of the three, then that can really throw you off.
Well, the transitions are really hard.
Mhm.
Like, you'll think about it like this. You're on a bike for 56, 112 miles, however long it is. Then you get off and you have to run a half marathon or a marathon. Like, most people's legs don't even know how to react.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a big thing. Like, you have to do like a
And
long
swimming.
bike.
The one you did,
Yeah.
was it a lot of elevation change, or was it mainly?
No, it was pretty flat.
See, like, coming from someone that's never done any sort of like endurance training really that much, I feel like going into it, I feel like the bike, just from like mental perspective, I feel like the bike would be the easiest. But obviously it's not, because I've never done it. But
But
I mean,
also,
nothing's easy.
No,
That's
yeah.
that's the problem, is like thinking of it from that perspective. It's like
Mhm.
people be like, oh, what's the easiest? It's like they all suck. It's like that's
Yeah.
the point. Like it's not easy. There's
Yeah.
there's nothing
Easy
good
That's
about
why I
it.
feel like immediately when you start talking about the Ironman, someone's like, what is that? What does it entail? And you get into the details and people are like, oh, F that. Like, I could never.
Yeah.
And start saying, like, my body can't do that. I can't even run 1 mile. And the way that some people are immediately
Wired,
talking
yeah.
to themselves, it's like, well, that's why you can't.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at it like that instead of being like, let me see what I am capable of.
Yeah.
Which is also just a huge part of like self growth.
It is. How would you say like that mindset for both of you guys has transformed from like 15 to now? Like, would you say
how we were
you've
just talking about how
always-
we'd always kind of like just not doubt ourselves, but like say we can't do something or
Well, I mean, you said I feel like that's a huge part of just self-growth.
yeah.
Do you
Well,
feel
me-
like you've always had that?
I always like had a lot of doubt in like myself with doing things, which like for example the media company I just started, I was told by family, friends, everybody that I should be doing it because I've always been into photography and evidently my work is decent. So
You've always been good at it.
yeah.
It's
So
awesome.
but I would always just like tell myself I'm not good enough, and the problem is I'd always compare myself to other people. So I'd look on like YouTube, Instagram, and like see other people's work and be like, well, mine's not that good, so nobody's gonna want to hire me. But then you also have to realize that people have different budgets. Like some people aren't looking for super like professional stuff, but like always put your full effort into everything. But like we were just talking about like a month ago, like I made like a vision board,
Yeah.
and I have a bunch of stuff on there. One's like
It's in your room or
yeah,
it's online?
right above my desk. So I
Nice.
have
I
it's
need
like
one of those.
networking. I have the main one. I have it right in the middle of it is feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yep.
Because
Do it scared.
Yeah, because it's like it's a lesson. It's a life lesson, and it teaches you how to overcome things. And like, what's the worst that happens? You do it, and they either decline your work or they don't like it, but then you're right back in the same spot you're in now. So like everything's
Right.
a lesson. And since having that mindset going into things now, I've been getting like booked a lot with gigs. One of my pictures just got put in the New York Post, which is really cool. So I mean, like now that I'm actually just getting over the fear and just doing it, and it even helps like with like I'm always like a little socially awkward. Like everyone says I'm good at talking to people, but like inside I'm like freaking out a little bit. Like I can put on like an act, but definitely just networking and talking to people and getting into this industry has definitely helped like with my like social anxiety. Like I can go out now and talk to people and it's like I don't even really get nervous anymore.
Yeah. So it's not like it necessarily went away and you overcame it first.
Yeah.
It's like the point of do it anyway, do
Yeah.
it scared, feel
Yeah.
the fear and still do it and not let that fear debilitate you and keep you in the spot
Yeah.
when you were younger and feeling that doubt. Like you might still have doubt, but still have
Oh,
the
yeah, of course.
conversations, but still go out there, still do the thing. I feel like that's so good to put out there on this episode because so many people feel like that and think
Yeah,
that
like literally just start. Just
Yeah.
start. Whether it's anything. Like for me, I was like, I don't know where to start, and I was like, ended up just making an Instagram account and just posting
Just
all of my stuff. I'm like, at least it's a start. Like I started there, and we'll see what takes off. I started doing like researching on like communication courses and all that type of stuff just to like grow my knowledge because again, I didn't go to school, so like. I bought like a couple courses. I went like watched a bunch of YouTube videos, like free stuff, and then I just like expanded my knowledge and everything, and it definitely helped too.
I don't know how well I could speak to this question, but I think Vin, his venture was definitely long overdue, and I'm happy
Yeah.
that he's doing it.
me too.
Thank you.
And it's really cool. But
Well, you got me into photography too, almost, because you used to be
yeah,
really into it.
I think we used
again,
to
like
bounce off each other a little bit.
talking about like how I'd always see other people's work. Like even your work, I'd look at it and be like, that looks so sick, and then like mine wouldn't look like that. Like you always had like a really wide angle lens, and that was like your style of photos. And then you made me buy a fisheye lens. Like you inspired me to get one, and then I ended up just selling that one actually, but because it doesn't fit on my camera anymore.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I was growing up. I might have been a little overconfident.
So like kind of the opposite of me. So
Yeah,
it's kind of
I just always thought like, not necessarily with ego, but I just always thought that I don't know. I was just always confident in like my ability to do stuff.
Which I also saw in you too, like because you
Yeah.
would always just venture out, even like with the traveling and stuff. Like I'd have a million thoughts going through my head and like convince myself not to do it in the long run, and you would just do it.
Yeah, I
And
just
you
always
learn a lot
wanted the
from that.
best with everything. Which like I don't know, like how valuable that was, but like I wanted to work in film at the time. I like refused to go anywhere but like the best film school in the world. I just like I've always wanted to have like the highest level of achievement. That being said, I've also been like a little scatterbrained.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll jump ship quickly, or just like be stretched too thin. And I've dealt with that like since like middle school up until now. And there's been a few things that like in retrospect, like I feel like if I 100% committed to them, I definitely would be really happy with that decision. But I don't know, it was a good learning opportunity. I'm like very, very happy with where I am right now. Everything that's going on in my life at the moment is really cool and has a lot of potential to get back to like all the stuff that I had done previously, or honestly a lot bigger. So yeah, I don't really have any complaints. I'm like,
you're chilling.
Yeah.
You also like, I don't know, you said like you feel like, I don't know, you tried a bunch of things too, so like you kind of narrowed it down to what you actually want to do, and now you're doing it.
But I still don't even really know. That's the thing.
Like,
I don't think
most
I'll
people
ever
don't.
really
Even
know.
I don't know 100%. But it's
Yeah.
like,
No, I'm aware that like I would never really know, and I just want to be in a position where like I can like try and it not like ruin my life.
yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm happy.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. And maybe like the overconfidence is just an opposite version of, and I wouldn't say that's like a bad thing. It's just translated into how you feel now and what you learned, and now you're just viewing it differently.
Yeah. Well, I think it was overconfidence, and now like I think I'm a realist, and I think like I'm so realistic with like everything I think. So it's like sometimes like I speak like too directly, you know, like I'll just speak literally like my exact interpretation of like what a situation is, or
Yeah, you do.
yeah. So
So now we should flip the question and ask you the same question.
yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like it just kind of naturally oriented around career, which is cool because that does translate a lot with confidence in what we do in our lives, like, and how we view ourselves may or may not hold us back from pursuing our dreams. And I would honestly relate to a little bit of both. Like, I've tried things too. I've started ventures, I've had ideas, and I've put myself into them. And I've always had a vision of what I want, but then something stopped me, and I maybe had some of that self-doubt too and just faded away from it and stopped it. And now, and did have that time of reflection too, where I was like, damn it, if I just kept going, if I just kept doing this, then it would have maybe been the biggest thing right now or whatever.
Yeah.
But James and I were actually talking about this yesterday, and my mindset now to a different version of myself saying that, like, I wish I continued it, is like, well, I wasn't ready. And I was in different places in my life where my mental health was shitty, like when I was doing YouTube and in college.
Yeah.
If I had continued that and stayed consistent, yeah, maybe I would have grown. Maybe I would have had a big following on YouTube right now. Who knows? But my mental health would have been probably worse than it was already then, and I wouldn't be able to maintain it. So now I think it's kind of just like, we can always start again. What am I going to do with what I've learned now?
Yeah.
And now I'm more also in that do it scared, do it with the doubts, do it with everything I've learned, because that's built my package for like what I can go forward with. And yeah, people ask me too, like, how'd you start a podcast? How do you start it? What do you need? And I'm like, go to the store and buy a microphone.
And you just start.
Just
you can
do
even, like, and YouTube is such like a good tool nowadays, or like even TikTok. You can literally search up anything on there, and you'll have a detailed instruction video of how to do something.
Right. There's so much information.
So like, there's no
out
excuses
there for
if you want to.
learn.
Yeah, there's no excuses if you want to start something or do something. Like, do you have a lot of?
Yeah.
Even like YouTube's and TikTok are free. So
I think
like,
if you even have to ask the question, you're kind of not ready to.
that's true
do
too.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But also to what you said, like not knowing what you want to do, it's like
a scary
That's
thing.
like knowing what your life is going to look like.
Yeah.
You know? And
You'll never know that.
you'll never know. So
I don't know. I just think if you don't have like the resourcefulness to even think to like look up how to do something and like give it a try yourself, you're not going to make it like immediately. And I think that's a problem a lot of people have, and that's why a lot of people like are never really content with what they do and always are employed by someone and live shitty lives. So it's kind of dark, but that's like the reality of it, you know.
it's the reality of what holds some people back. I mean, there's all different circumstances for why people need to make certain decisions, and that's just a piece of it. We only know a piece, but I agree with the fact of like I could be working a totally different or living a totally different life without the mentality of like I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna face this. I'm just gonna make it happen myself.
Yeah.
And also we're all extremely blessed to like have support in what we do and have like even financial supports sometimes and whatever. So, but it is a lot of the way that we think.
Yeah, our perspective definitely doesn't cover everyone's, but
Right.
I still think like the basic philosophy maintains true regardless of like who you are, where you came from. And you'll literally see that from like any person who is like at the highest achieving level of whatever they do, whether it's like an actor, an athlete or whatever. Most of the time they're from like the least likely demographic to achieve that. And like it's the same story every time, just however you want to interpret it. Like it's just someone who like
puts the work in.
Yeah, they just lock the fuck in, and they're talented, but like that's only half of it, you know. So
Yeah. Do you think that's a personality type?
yeah, you have to be a psychopath. Like you actually have to be crazy to, and it's not like a bad thing, you know.
No.
But like to do that, you have to actually
Be some level.
Well, I mean, they're clearly
Crazy.
the minority, so you know what I mean. There's something that's not the same between them and everyone else. So
Agreed.
Being that, and we have stayed in the mental health orientation, but I'm curious for you guys, what's been a little bit of your journey of feeling comfortable talking about mental health as dudes?
Honestly, like just like knowing that knowing other people go through it. Like mental health, I feel like is just so, I mean, it's talked about a lot, but I feel like not to like an extent. Like I feel like more people need to like understand that it's like a real thing, and like obviously you're not in control of it. You can be, certain things you can do can help out, like talking to a therapist, getting medication, but like even just being healthy, going to the gym, like certain things can help it, but like it'll always be there. And like it's a battle, like it sucks, like it's not fun. Like I'm not trying to go through this, it's just how my brain was working. And like
Right.
yeah, it definitely is a struggle with everyday life, but I mean I've been learning now like more than ever how to like deal with it, like staying fit, keeping my mind occupied, like now at this media company that I'm doing, like constantly keeping my mind like focused on something and a task that I'm trying to achieve definitely helps with everything. And even just living a healthy lifestyle, I'm saying that drinking champagne, but
hey,
like
this is healthy, it's good for the soul.
but yeah, like for example, having a morning routine. I wake up now, I take a shower, I go to the gym. Now I'm going to start training for this half marathon, going on a run every morning. Always try to eat healthy, like keep a healthy relationship with my family, my friends, just all of that type of stuff is just like all like helps the whole mental health thing, like in total.
Yeah, it's holistic,
Yeah.
right? How about you?
I think my life has always consisted of high highs and low lows, and that like polarization is pretty difficult.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, and I don't know, I assume a lot of people feel the same way, but that's just how my experience has been. And then I've tried a lot of different things. Like I've talked to a handful of therapists. There was a point in time where I was taking SSRIs, and then I've done like a lot of mindfulness activities and like physical activities. So I think the management of it is kind of subjective to the individual. For me, I personally find like the natural stuff to work a little bit better. I don't take any prescriptions for anything at the moment. I just have like a solid routine. Honestly, I do like a lot of cold exposure, sauna, which I know is like pretty fucking basic, but like I genuinely enjoy it.
No, it helps.
I've done the sauna a lot. I've never really done the cold plunges, which I'm really like interested in trying because like
I do a lot of breathing as well. Like they go
I'd never do any of that, which I'm interested to try it. Mainly the cold plunges though, because I've heard it's like amazing.
Yeah.
It's interesting too for you that you started by saying high highs, low lows, and then cold, hot.
Yeah.
Like that polarization too almost seems like it helps you find that balance.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is interesting. I think like the cold and the hot, like, in different ways they achieve like very similar things.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all physical recovery and it's all kind of like testing your mind a little bit, you know? Like it's no matter how many times you do the sauna, no matter how many times you do the cold plunge, it's gonna suck every single time.
Yeah.
Like you can get a little bit more used to it and you can start doing colder and longer, hotter and longer, whatever it is, but like that's kind of the fun of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was doing them every day for like a 2-month period when I was doing my Ironman training, and like every day it still sucked. Like it didn't get any easier. It just like the first time you do it, you kind of react to it a little bit differently because your body just doesn't know what to do. But if you know how to get in there and then just slow your heart rate and slow your breathing, it's the same thing.
That was my
time.
problem. Whenever I would always do the sauna after the gym, and I would always love getting in the sauna like for the first like 5-10 minutes, and then I would start like my heart would just start beating fast, and I would like try to. And sometimes it was easier than others. I could calm it down and stay in there for like 20 minutes, and then other times I was like, I need to get out of here. Like I'm like freaking out. Like even sometimes I would only go like 5 minutes because like I don't know, even if I'm like already like a little anxious going into the sauna, it just amplifies it. But then battling, it's also like kind of fun in its own way because if you get through it and you get out, you're like it's like a little victory.
Yeah, it's like the marathon.
Yeah,
it's a lot mental too.
Yeah.
What would you?
I just think like spending like that time on your own is valuable as well. I think that's a big part to like, at least for me, it's just like having time to think.
Yeah, you like alone time.
Yeah.
I like alone time too. That fills me up a lot.
Yeah.
Do you like alone time?
Yes and no. I feel like the more time I'm alone, like my brain starts to go a little crazy.
What does your alone time look like?
Well, I guess my alone time now is just sitting in front of my computer. Working. But like, which that I do enjoy. But if I like don't have anything to do for the day and I'm kind of just sitting at home, like I have a really hard time just like relaxing. Like even if I'm hanging out with my friends and we go to one of their houses and we're just like sitting on the couch, like I can't do it. I always need to be doing something. Like that's just probably part of like my like ADD, but I don't know. Yeah, so I do like it and I don't at the same time.
Yeah, I'm similar in the sense that I always like to have an activity, but I don't need anyone to be there.
Yeah.
Like I would do plenty of stuff on my own.
Yeah, but just like doing stuff alone is still fun. Like yesterday, 2 days ago, I just walked around Manhattan and Brooklyn by myself and was just taking pictures and like it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys go out to eat by yourselves?
Not to restaurants, but like I'll go out to like Chipotle and stuff.
Yeah, I tend to do the latter more, but I have like gone to restaurants before. Bars as well. Yeah, I do think food is something though that should be shared. Like I do think meals are something that should be you should eat with people.
Do you ever go out and eat by yourself?
That being said, I probably eat most of my meals by myself. Like I'm by myself the majority of every day.
But more like at home meals.
At home, work, like most.
That makes sense though. I think that like going out to eat alone is more of a
date for yourself.
Yeah, kind of. It's like it's not a big deal, but it's definitely more of a thing to think about than to making yourself a meal and just being like, I'm hungry at home. Eat dinner by myself. That you don't really think twice about it, but to be like, you know what? I feel like going out tonight and I'm just gonna go because I feel like it and
Yeah.
be alone. I don't. That's not my favorite solo date. I really like to do things by myself.
Yeah.
The movies has been more of my favorite.
I've
thing
never
recently.
done that either by myself.
I've done
Yeah.
both by myself. I do think though, like, if I like care to go out and have like a nice meal by myself, like I don't mind inviting someone else and just like picking up the tab. Like,
Yeah.
like most of the time it would be split, or if it's like a date or something, it's like I would just rather do it. Like, a meal's meant to be shared, so it's not really about like the money. I guess it's more so just about like.
Like,
Yeah, sharing that.
What you were saying, like solo dates, I guess like one I used to always do is just go golfing by myself.
Yeah.
I'd bring a speaker, I'd play music, and I would just golf by myself, and it's like a little,
That's pretty
not
awesome.
meditation, but it's like relaxing to just be on your own and play. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. What would you guys say has impacted your mental health the most?
Honestly, probably just talking about it. Like, it just made me feel better.
Okay.
Like, because, like, I would always freak out and be like, I'm the only person thinking about this. I'm by myself. But, like, even, like, my brother went through a lot of stuff. And just, like, hearing his perspective and everything and how he went through everything. And, like, you just feel like you're not alone. And it definitely does help. Now my little brother's going through, like, the same thing. So we're trying to, like, we know how to, like, have little coping mechanisms and, like, even like exposure therapy, like all that type of stuff, which we're trying to help him navigate through. But like, yeah, just like talking about it and learning how other people like deal with it, and like definitely helps.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
How is my experience like?
Like, what's impacted your mental health the most? Even if that's just like something that impacted it in a way that made you not suffer, but like go through a hard time, or have a transformation in a way that Vincent just shared, something that benefited his mental health, feeling not alone. And
yeah, I mean, I think one thing I tend to do is I'm like very critical of myself, but like I also had mentioned, I'm very realistic. So I think all my thoughts and comments when I am critical are like fair. Sometimes they might be a little bit of an overreaction, but like they're still fair. So I think like me taking stuff and like learning from it, or like learning from my experiences, has been cool.
how do you handle those moments when you're like hard on yourself and you're like, but that's fair and that's realistic? Are you just like, okay, James, then move on from it? Like, you kind of deserve, is that what it sounds like?
Yeah, so I mean, like if you dug your own grave, you kind of have to lie in it to some extent. But also like, I feel like I've made some mistakes that like I've learned from, and that like, not that I think about them all day every day, but like they're so like lasered into my memory, where it's just like I'm never gonna do that ever again, and like that's good enough for me, to
you just tell yourself to put the fries in the bag.
yeah. Yeah.
Shout out Josh Block.
Yeah. But I don't know if that really answers the question.
No, yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
And taking the stairs.
Yeah, you gotta take stairs, no escalators. Which this guy took one yesterday.
I live on a
gonna
walk
call. I said I was gonna call him
stairs
out.
I'll
every
take
fucking
escalators
day.
where I can get them.
Back to what you were saying though, with like the benefits of stuff, like that helps. Definitely, in my like experience, being fit, like just going to the gym, like it just mentally makes you feel good too. So it helps you through stuff.
The gym is
Also, if you're happy with the way you look too, it like makes a big difference. Where like you don't look at yourself and you're like, I want to fix that. Which everybody does. Like even if you're in perfect shape, you're still going to nitpick little things about yourself. So like you're never going to be fully happy with the way you look, but if you're somewhat happy, I think that's still a victory, and it's good versus not being happy with it all the way you look.
Fitness is like a relatively new, like consistent thing in my like routine or life. Like I'd say as of like 4 years ago maybe. And it's been awesome. I don't know, it's just like, I think like caring about how you look, also like feeling good. And then I usually work out on my own, but like I don't mind working out with people. It's usually like a close friend, so it's like,
Do you feel like you get as good of a workout
by myself or with people?
with people as you do by yourself?
It depends. So I feel like one of my really good friends, shredded, ripped. Like he was kind of the one who like got me into the gym. And like he had done an Ironman before me. He had like he looks
He's the
like
one
Captain America. He's fucking sick. And it's just like I feel like I always tend to do things with people that are better than me, whether it's like the gym or whatever. So it's like I'm always kind of reaching up a little bit, which is nice. And like I don't mind like helping introducing someone to something. I just think I have a lot of really cool friends who are high achieving in what they do. So it's like I always kind of feel like I'm trying to like carry my own weight to catch up. So oftentimes like I'll go and work out with someone who's stronger than me or bigger than me, or you know what I mean. So go on runs with people that run further than me, faster than me. So
yeah, I like working out with somebody for the same reason. It pushes you. Like if you're doing like bench press and you see them lifting more than you, it's gonna make you want to push harder.
Right.
And it's also just like, I don't know, it's just someone to talk to while you're working out. So I always like working out with somebody. I feel like when I go by myself, I'll get like distracted more easily, or like just be on my phone more rather than being like locked into the workout. So I enjoy working out with someone, especially on a run, because like it makes the run go by faster. You could talk to somebody a little bit, like not that you're talking the whole time, but like definitely, I don't know, I like to do it with someone else.
I don't know. I also have been doing it for like a while. So I think whenever I go work out with someone else, I'm just like, you do whatever you do and I'll follow you.
Yeah.
So just to like switch up my activity, whether it's like a different type of workout or like a different sequence, whatever it is, like I think like that repetition, like kind of like throwing a wrench in like my repetition is also good for my body, you know, because when I go out and like I tend to do the same stuff, you know.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. So
yeah, this is kind of like going off of that, but do you think that who you guys have surrounded yourselves with throughout the years have made a big difference on how you feel?
Yeah.
If you surround yourself with like-minded people who have like the same drive and the passion as you, like it definitely motivates you and like helps you actually do what you want to do, versus if you're hanging around people that don't really have any drive in anything and they're just kind of existing, then
Who's been that person for you?
honestly, you've been a big one, because I always see you're doing stuff, and I'm like hanging out with you. Yeah, you always like introduced me to really cool people. Like you saw all your friends who were like doing big things, and including you. And it's like every time like I'm with you, I always like leave. Like I'm not leave our hangout, but like every time I'm go off on my own again after, I'm like it motivates me to like actually like do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else?
I don't know. With like photography stuff motivates me. There's this one guy on YouTube that I've been watching for like 10 years.
Calder?
He's one of them.
Kramer?
Yeah, no.
Rory?
Yeah.
Rory Kramer, Sam Calder.
Professional life liver.
Yeah. And then also this guy, North Borders. He's like an Australian guy.
I know that guy.
Yeah, he does like a lot of like street photography and stuff, which is like kind of the same style that I like to do, which I was saying to you yesterday. A lot of people are like, oh, like, do people find that like creepy? You're just taking pictures of them, and that's like, well, I look at it from like an art perspective, not just like I'm spying on somebody.
Yeah,
and like you were saying, like people of New York, like everybody has a story. Now I'm not really confident enough to take a picture of someone, walk up to them, and be like, hey, like this is a picture of you, like tell me your story. But
hey, what do you do for a living?
yeah, that guy, which your friend was just on that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yesterday.
It was funny because I had like a weird envisionment in my head when I was driving to the city. I was like, I feel like someone's going to get stopped by that guy during this trip. And then last night he tells me, he's like, my friend just got stopped by that. What do you do for a living?
He just met.
Yeah.
Like right
With the
before
dog.
we came, yeah.
With the robot dog, no,
Yeah, the robot dog.
Yeah. I've always had people like that in my life.
You really have.
Except for when I was in high school. I would say like Vin, honestly, like we bounced off ideas each other a lot. I don't really like talk to anyone from high school anymore. Not that like I don't like them. It's just I feel like my social group there is more so like drinking buddies or like partying friends or going out or like we just like to like talk to girls or you know what I mean? Like with a similar interests, which is like very normal. But in terms of like where we are now and what we do now, very different from like almost everyone that I hung out with growing up. Not to like throw any shade, it's just like I feel like everyone kind of finds their own path, and then my friends that I made while I was at school, I am just like 10, 20 times closer with, and like I speak to them like way more frequently, and I don't know, I haven't really met people like that in my life. I mean now I have a lot of them, but like prior to that, so yeah, all my friends are super sick. yeah, I'm like very grateful for all that stuff. So
Yeah, they say that you're the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with.
yeah, I will say though, I'm like usually the type of person who like connects people together. Like
Yeah.
like even in college, like I was in a fraternity, and all my friends were like all over the place. They were like in either like different fraternities, like had zero involvement, didn't even go to fucking college, like. But like when I hung out, like I'd invite like a bunch of one-off people, and then make like a group of like 5 to 10, and then they would all become friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to do that. So it's like I feel like that's been really cool as well, to kind of like bring people together in some sense. Yeah, maybe that's why everyone is so like high achieving. It's just like it's not like a group itself. It's just like a collective of people.
Of like-minded people.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know this person who's similar to that person, you bring them together, it's likely that they're the sum of the 5 people that they know.
Yeah.
And it just continues to branch off. I think there's something like a saying about that I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, like the one thing that I was saying about how like you, like every time I hang out with you and everything, is like you always had really good networking skills.
Yeah, you do.
Like like you always are like saying that you met this person, like you know this person, or like even like all the friends you have who like know
a guy
people.
Who knows a guy.
And like that's why another thing that I put on my vision board was networking, because like it's huge, and I've noticed it with what I'm doing now. Even if I'm like, I went to Montauk and did like a video of the lighthouse. And then afterwards, me and my friend, because he came with me, were like, we want to just get like a beer at the bar before we head back. So we went to this bar, and turns out these people next to me were all real estate agents. And they saw my camera, and they started asking me questions about like what I do, and like if I do real estate stuff. And I told them I did, and I showed them like my work on my Instagram and everything. And then I gave them all my business cards. So like, yeah, even if they don't call me, like it still helps to speak to people like that and just like give your information out. So.
One thing that I've optimized my life for is like quantity as well as quality. Like I just
equals each other?
No, I just like throw as much shit at the wall and see what sticks. And I don't like really like take into consideration like the rate of which like things are successful, but like I'll only do like really like the top level of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you were doing the loafer brand for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't...
Which I really liked, by the way.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. It was just too expensive.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my sample.
Shoes are an expensive business.
Especially when you're trying to make them in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're doing it the right way.
The best of the best.
Yeah. 80 euros a pair, 90 euros a pair, and then the minimum order quantity is like 500, 1,000, whatever it is, and then you have to pay tariffs and shipping and packaging and all this shit. Ends up costing you like $70,000 for like the smallest order.
Then you were doing some like little like bracelet thing, right, for a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. You're always diving into like new things, and like I said, you've tried so many different things.
Yeah.
You even did like a media thing for a little bit, no?
Kind of.
Didn't you make like an Instagram for it, and you went to like some place in California for a little bit?
Yeah, my college.
Well, no, I thought it was like
the summer program.
Yeah, the summer program.
Yeah.
So like you dabbled in the media stuff, and then next thing you're making loafers out of Italy. Then you're doing the bracelet stuff. Now you have your current job. Now you were even starting some stuff with a couple of your friends that, I mean, doesn't end up working out all the time, but like you're always putting yourself out there to try new things.
Yeah,
like, that's
I'm
good
very happy
to
with
have.
like what I'm working on now at the moment. I feel like more so in terms of outreach, like whether it's like, oh, this is someone who I like want to go on a date with, or this is someone who I haven't talked to yet, I kind of want to get to know, or whatever. Like I will just put the message out there, and if they respond, like great. If not, like I
throw
really
it out
don't
the
care.
wall, see if it's nice.
Yeah, but I will literally send I probably send like 25 messages a day. And I know a few people that do the same thing, and it's worked out really well for us.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Well, it's just like, why not? You know what I mean?
It is why not, but that's why you're good at it. Like, that's your mindset
One of my
about
friends,
it.
he said he had messaged someone on Instagram like a week ago, and he said like, hey, someone who like he hadn't talked to in a while, just trying to catch up, and they didn't even like open his message. He's like, why do I like have this person on social media if like I haven't talked to them in a few years? If I message them, they don't even respond to like a simple hey, you know? It's like so I don't know, it's just like I feel like you should kind of build.
No, that's such a good point. It's like then we're not connected. So why follow each other really? Yeah.
I feel that way with like Instagram. Like
it's illogical. It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
Like if it's gonna be like your business account or something for like follow whoever, but like my personal Instagram, I just went through all my followers and I literally like unfollowed like so many people.
Yeah.
And like now it's just family, close friends, people that like I'm genuinely like interested in what they do, whether it's like some sort of an athlete or like another photographer or something. Like,
yeah,
I really cut it down because I'm like, I really don't need to be seeing all of this. Or
no.
Like, I don't have any sort of an actual connection with any of these people. So it's like, why do I kind of care what you're doing on a day to day if I'm not really interested?
Yeah, and also like
not not throwing shade like you were saying.
It's
who
not.
People I did unfollow. It's not like I don't like you. It's just that like,
don't take it personal. Yeah. But building our feed does impact our mental health also, and being mindful about what we do follow and what kind of content we're going to see. If we're going to scroll, like at least make it something that we are interested in. And I was just talking about this with my sister because I had an Instagram that got hacked and I started fresh, and I was like a little bit freaked out about it just because it got hacked. Like, it's a weird feeling.
I never even knew that's why you made the new Instagram.
Yeah. But then I was like, you know what? This is a good opportunity. Like, I'm not going to just go through and follow all the people I was following before and try and make it the same. Like, first of all, it's not going to happen because this is new. So also, I'm not going to follow who's not like in my life anymore, who I don't talk to anymore, or like going to be mindful about who I follow now and what I want to see.
Yeah. I have a different philosophy. I kind of just follow whoever. Like if I see
even if there's no like rhyme or reason.
If I see anything that like I'll be like, oh, that's cool. Like I'll usually follow. But like if I go to message someone and like I don't get a response, it's like, all right, cool, done, bye.
Unfollow.
Yeah, it's just like
but that follows the same philosophy.
Yeah. But like I'm not like, I don't like gatekeep it. Like I feel like if I ever have any like sort of remote interest or reason to follow someone, I will.
Mm-hmm.
And like you kind of never really know when it comes back. Like there's people that like I talked to years ago, and then you'll just get random messages sometimes, and like that's cool. And then I usually send the random messages, which is also cool. But
yeah.
Yeah, I've done that a bunch of times. Just like somebody who I remember from high school. I'm like, I haven't even spoken to these people in forever, and like I'm curious what they've been up to. I'll send them like a random DM, just wondering like what you've been up to, like how are you, and like most of the time they appreciate it. And like even people that like I did go to high school with that like I never really was friends with or like close with, like I was at the bar not too long ago, and one of the kids I went to high school with came up to me, and he was like, I was just asking him like what he's been doing, and he told me he like has been making music, like but he wants to do stuff for like the background music for like movies and like shows and stuff. So he gave me his Instagram, and I looked at it, and like there was a couple like audios that he made that he said they were like cinematic audios, but I really liked the way they sounded, so I told him to send me them, and I'll put them over one of my like drone videos or something, and I said I'll give you credit, like I'll tag you and like let everyone know that like you're doing the music stuff.
Yeah,
which he really appreciated, and it was just like, I don't know, you almost like meet them for the first time, because although you went to high school with them, like you never. Everybody has their own groups in high school, and once you get older, you realize like all like the stupid popularity stuff doesn't mean anything, and it's like there's so many cool people that you did go to high school, middle school, even college with that you just wouldn't really speak to, and like once you actually get to know them as a person, they're like cool.
Yeah, and also there's a big chance that those people aren't who you used to know. Like think about how much changes. We've all
I'm like literally so different than.
Right. So imagine somebody just assumed you were the same. Like that's not fair.
Yeah, honestly, I had like ran into someone like probably about like 6 months ago, and she was like I don't know. To be fair, I used to be kind of a knucklehead, and she was and she had just made some comments to me, and like my initial reaction was like, "Fuck you," for like assuming that I'm the same person I was like 6 years ago. And then my second reaction is like, I mean, like, I guess it's a relatively fair assumption, but also like, I don't know who you are, and I kind of walked into this with no like preconceived notion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Like you feel like she walked into it with a preconceived notion?
Yeah, she thought I was exactly the same person. She's like, "Oh my god, like you're not doing this anymore." Like, wow, I'm so shocked. I'm like, "Fuck you."
Yeah,
Like,
how about you ask?
Yeah. I'm like, how about we just have a conversation and we start fresh, given
Right.
it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
Meet again.
Which is crazy to think about.
And that should
I
apply
agree.
to anybody.
Yeah, it should.
Anybody.
Absolutely. So then in that sense, would you say people deserve second chances?
Yes and no. I've given plenty of them. I've also received plenty of them.
And how did it go?
Fine. I feel like a lot of the times that I've given them, it's also been like for my own peace, you know? Because it's really exhausting to just have like a
Hatred. For
yeah,
someone?
hatred
Yeah,
for
yeah.
someone. It's really taxing. So I think if for your own sake you can like
Yeah, just give yourself a peace of mind.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, well, forgiveness is for us. Like,
Yeah.
you can forgive someone and never tell them that you forgive them.
Yeah.
And it can just be for you to be able to move on with your own life.
Yeah.
100%.
You believe in second chances?
Like James said, yes and no. Like, depends. Like, if the person really did something like just unforgivable, then like, yeah, of course not. But like, if it's something like small that you guys can definitely work through and like even grow from as people, and like, I don't know, sometimes like it brings you closer to them, because like giving someone the second chance definitely does that. But yeah, same thing. I've definitely given some and I've received some, and it works out half the time, doesn't work out half the time, but it's all just trial and error. And I feel like you can, going into it though, you could tell like if you're giving someone a second chance, if they're really gonna actually try to make a difference and
Yeah, you can kind of tell.
like recover from the mistake they made. But like, I don't know.
There's no right answer to that question. It's all
Yeah.
about
Really
your
not.
vibe.
It is 50-50.
It's all about the vibe. Sorry. I'm very grateful we're here this weekend.
Yeah, me too.
Your
It's been a lot
apartment
of
is
fun.
super dope.
Thank you.
Very
this-
clean and open and big. I like it.
Yeah, this
Thank
view is
you.
awesome. The weather's been good.
I feel like you just described Boston,
Yeah.
except for the big part.
Yeah.
No, it's been cool. That's all.
Yeah, it's been great to have you guys here.
It's a
And
good vibe switch.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're still getting the city, but it's not like congested.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
You don't have people walking up to you trying to sell mixtapes and stuff,
Yeah.
and like, or people just like asking you to go on tours. Like, get all those people. You're just like, no, like, thank you.
Yeah.
You don't get any of that here. I feel like, which is nice. You can
Yeah.
actually like enjoy your time without being like interrupted by people.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like, especially me versus you, I'm much better at like blocking out like people.
Yeah,
like,
see,
you always talk to people.
I
whenever they
always
come
talk
up
to
you.
people, which like I've been told a lot of times. It's like just ignore them, or like you're too nice to people. Like even like if I go
Yeah.
into like a store, like everyone's like, oh, you need help today, and like I'll sit there and talk to them. Versus like most people just kind of blow them off and ignore them. Right?
Yeah.
are you
blow
doing
off.
it to be nice though, or do you like
It's
want
just
to
the- it's-
talk?
I guess both. I'm just the person I am. Like I feel bad like blowing someone up, even if I don't know them at all. But I just feel like,
What about the people last night? You talked to those two girls for like an hour.
oh yeah, they were just because they saw my camera and they were just asking me what I do and
But I
stuff. And
feel
then
like
I
that's
found
so
out they're from Long Island, and then we were
Yeah.
and then you jumped in on the conversation, and then
Yeah.
we talked for like an hour and a half.
I feel like that can be so refreshing for people's lives though. Like so
Yeah.
many people do walk into a store and, if they ask, you need help, and it's just like, no thanks.
Yeah,
Like it can be really refreshing to just be like, no thanks, but how's your day going? You okay?
yeah.
You doing okay today?
Yeah.
And, friendly.
I do like meeting new people, but I am like the biggest hater of like pointless conversations.
Yeah, that's one
like-
reason why I used to hate just going out to the bars and stuff. Because you'd go to the bar, you'd like just sit there and like just talk about stuff that has no actual value, and it's like I'm just literally wasting my money and wasting my time.
Yeah.
Which is why I've always been one to prefer going to, like, if I am going out to drink, go somewhere where it's like almost like a cocktail lounge, like a wine bar or something, where
too.
like I can sit and have a genuine conversation, especially with the people that I went there with,
Right.
versus like just
Screaming.
and
Can't
like
even hear each
I
other.
don't know, I'm not much of a dancer either, so I don't really like go on the dance floor. So I'm kind of always off on the side anyway. So, but like that's why I prefer to do more like the chill stuff.
You're behind the DJ booth.
Yeah.
Have you
filming.
seen those memes where it's like, I just faked laugh for the third time. Why is this person still talking to me?
Wow, that's crazy. Wow,
Yeah, wow, that's
crazy.
great.
Yeah. I don't know, but like I really don't have any tolerance for any of that stuff. So yeah, I mean, both like in real life and like on the phone, I kind of just blow stuff off.
What do you
when,
do in that situation? Are you just like, I gotta go?
I usually just don't respond, or just walk away, or just like I don't engage.
Fade out.
Yeah, like
Irish.
the other night I was
Yeah.
out and someone was asking me for directions, and I thought they were trying to solicit me, And I just walked right by them. My friend was like, "You're being such a dick." I'm like, "Dude, like, I didn't know what they wanted. I have no reason to engage." And that's just kind of my mindset. And like, it's like a little bit defensive. But like, I don't know if anyone ever like genuinely approached me like, "Hey, what's up?" Be like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm not gonna like, "Yo, get away from me."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I just, it's subjective, but
It is. There's certain situations where it can just be like, I'm not answering. I'm not
For example,
responding.
when even like we went to Diptyque yesterday to like look at like clones and stuff, and like the lady that was helping us there was cool, but like especially from the past, like if you go to any places like that, people are like in your face,
like swarm, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Can I help you today?"
yeah, and like they're like
They want-
watching you, standing next to you, and it's like I'm kind of just trying to like smell a couple of these. Like I don't need you to like put stuff in my face, and like I feel pressured into like buying something now, and it's like I don't know. I don't like people like that. Like
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah, I'll be like, can I have like a little bit of space? And then, but I'll say it in a nice way. I'm like, no, I'm just kind of looking around. It's like if I have any questions, like to say it in a nice way. Like if I have any questions, I'll come ask you. Like,
Right.
It's not being rude. It's just basically saying, leave me alone on my own, and I'll if I need help, I'll ask for it. But
No, yeah. There's this one place that keeps calling me. I went to a certain gym once and tried a certain workout. They call me all the time asking if I want to sign up, and every time I say, "I'm gonna call you when I want to do a class again." Like I really am, and I really might. It's not today. It's not right now. I'm gonna call you and let you know though. Like
Yeah.
So don't call me. I call you.
Yeah.
But they just keep calling, and
now
that
you
can
hate
really
them.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like I don't really want to as much anymore.
Fuck
You're
that
not
gym.
respecting my boundaries.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like DoorDash, like at the restaurant, like they call. I'm not even joking. Every single day. And they'll be like, hey,
DoorDash?
yeah, this is DoorDash. We want to know if you guys want to like set something up or like eat and drink with do DoorDash. And we tell them every time, like, I speak to Joe, and I'm like, Joe's not in, and he said he's not interested in DoorDash. Like, can you please stop calling? Next day, hey, this is John from DoorDash. I was just next day, hey, this is Susie from DoorDash. And it's like, we told you 10 times. Now when they call, we just don't even answer, and they still call every day. It's like, take the hint. Like, we're not signing up for it.
It's like, now I'm gonna block your number.
Yeah, now I'm using Uber Eats, no DoorDash.
Yeah.
It's like you're making me not want to use your company now because you're just bothering me every day.
Yeah. What advice would you give to your younger selves?
Like I was saying before, just start. Like, do something, put your mind to it, and just put the effort in. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's like, especially if you're younger, you have no financial responsibilities. You have no, like, responsibilities in general, besides, like, really just your own happiness. So it's like, put yourself out there, like I said he would always do, and like try new things, and if they don't work out, they don't. But like if they do, then it's great because you're doing what you love. And like one thing I like about what I'm just started doing with the media is I don't really like technically have a boss. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of go out and do it whenever I want to do it, and like I do have deadlines essentially for like clients and stuff, but it's like, I don't know, it's like peace of mind knowing that I don't have someone like breathing down my neck, like asking, like having to show up on certain times, having to do all that. Like I control my own schedule, and it's like really good.
Yeah.
So just, I don't know, if I was smarter when I was younger, I probably would have tried a little harder in school. Because like when I was younger, I never put any effort into school. Like I would always be like, oh, I don't need college, it's stupid, it's not for me, which it's not for everybody. But like I didn't even try in like high school, which now if I look back, I totally would, and I would have like respected my teachers more and everything, because I don't know, it's just a stupid little kid. But yeah, definitely just trying stuff, putting yourself out there, and seeing what happens. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not anything specific that like comes to me right away, but like, going off what Vince said, I think school, like doing well, like it gives you optionality. Like you don't have to go to college. Like if you have like perfect grades, like you can go to Harvard if you want, or whatever it is, you know. So it's like kind of putting yourself in a position to like make a decision that's like right for you, or right at that point in time. That's like a huge luxury to have, and that's honestly like one of the biggest things my parents tried to teach me growing up. Yeah, but just like I think putting yourself in a position to have optionality is like really, really big.
Yeah.
And like that's a better problem to have, like trying to figure out like which school you want to go to, or which do you even want to go to school, versus like how can I like try and pull this out of my ass so I can't go to school, or I can't go to school, what am I going to do now, you know?
Yeah.
And like school just being like the analogy there, but like it really applies to everything. It's like like a job, like you get a promotion, it's like do I take this or do I just go and get another job, or do I just like, you know what I mean? It's like any like level up, you kind of get like a decision that comes with that. And I would have maybe given myself a little bit more optionality.
Well, you're doing that now.
Yeah, I have plenty of it now. So
yeah. And how about to your future selves?
That's a good question. I've never actually thought about before.
I've always been a little I guess like inconsistent, I definitely have discipline. I just it's been hard for me to stay consistent with certain things, but I feel like the next thing that I find and like I kind of realize this is something I really want to do, I just like go all in and I stay very consistent with it, and like I'm aware of that now, and like I will drop everything to do something that like I'm doing and like it's finding success and like it makes me happy. So I guess like just like reiterating that to my future self, or like not having any like last minute fear or anything. Like just kind of reminding myself like what I'm thinking now.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to. I mean, I guess it's kind of the same thing that, like, even going back to like my past self, it's like kind of ties in with that. Like, just like what he was saying, be consistent. Like when you do start something and you're trying to navigate your way through it, like if you have little hiccups along the way, like don't let that like throw you down. Like it's part of the procedure, part of the process, and like just take your experience from it and use it to grow and like do what you actually want to do.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my little take on it.
What about you, Rio?
I mean, I feel like my higher self is just constantly motivating me. Like my future self motivates me.
Yeah.
Because that's
the idea of your future self?
Yeah. Like the idea of, or just what I know my best is and what I know I'm capable of. And it's like, I want to do it for that version of myself.
Yeah.
So that I meet that version of myself and don't like let myself down, essentially.
Yeah.
So I guess just whatever affirmations I use now, whatever I go through, it is being consistent and telling myself the same things now to like reach that point.
Yeah. One thing too that I can add to what I said is that just also not caring about what anybody thinks about you.
That's huge.
Because
be yourself.
I mean, I
cares?
still do, but I'm definitely a lot better like at it than like I have been. Like I would care way too much, and like I would revolve my life around what people would think about me, and instead of doing what I actually want to do, like, not to keep bringing up this media thing that I'm doing, but I post on my Instagram story like usually a lot of the pictures and stuff that I take. I'll post like 5 times a day sometimes, which that can definitely annoy people, and if they unfollow me, they unfollow me. But it's like I need to grow my business, so that's a way that I can reach more people and like show my work that I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know it could be annoying, but it's just like.
Yeah, but like, who said it was annoying? Like
that's the thing. Like, probably no. Like, some people I can like. That's just like another thought. Like, it's like.
Yeah, it's
you
just
think people do, but you never know. Some people probably don't. But.
And something that I think about a lot when it comes to caring what people think, or like if that voice chimes in that's trying to make you care what people think.
Yeah.
Is asking myself, do I care what people do?
Yeah.
Because I really don't. And like people posting a bunch, I'm like, this is cool. Or you just keep going and skip through if it's something maybe you're not as interested in. But it's not like I care. I'm not sitting there and I'm like, this is personally bothering.
Yeah.
Like this is personal to me.
Yeah.
So why would we assume that other people think what other people are thinking?
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't cared what people have thought in a very long time. To some extent.
Yeah.
What I this is kind of random, but a thought I had is like we all just sat here and we talked about like Rory Kramer and Sam Colder, and like we know who these people are, but they have like no idea who we are.
Yeah.
Like each one of us is people like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like either like know who we are through like a conversation or like social media or whatever, and it's kind of weird. Like
people know who you are.
Yeah, I actually had someone approach me like a week and a half ago, and they like knew exactly who I was. I guess they had like been following me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
and they introduced themselves, and I was just like, it's kind of crazy. I had no idea who this person was, and they knew exactly who I was. And like, not to say that in like a narcissistic way. It's like we know who people are, they don't know who we are.
Yeah.
Like, and people know us, and we don't know who they are. And it's just kind of a weird thought to have. Like, you never really know like what the impression is
Right.
you're making, and like who you're making it on.
And that
Or
does
who
tie
you're
into
impacting.
not
Yeah.
caring what people think.
Not
because
caring, but I would also say like it's important to create like a good representation of yourself, one that you're proud of, you know.
Definitely.
Because if you post stupid pictures or you just make stupid comments online, then that's like your digital footprint, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Would you say that's just like be yourself?
yeah, I would be like a refined version of yourself. I would be like one that you would like go and like sit at like a table with like the people that you look up to the most. I'd be that version of yourself.
Yeah. Love that.
You don't have to change yourself. It's just like put on like a suit, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that changes over time. So
Mm-hmm.
like I was with Vin yesterday on this couch. We were looking through my Instagram. I'm like, it's crazy to scroll back to like 2016 and look at this stuff. And like, that's like, I was putting that out with like my chest held high. Or like, I was so proud of that stuff. And I'm looking at, not that I'm not now. It's just like, like you can, the difference of like person is so visible
Yeah.
if you scroll through this, because I don't delete anything.
I
Like,
definitely deleted some Instagram pictures, but I do have my like all my old ones.
Yeah,
too,
I
and
might
it's,
clean
it's
it up
funny
at
to, It's
some
funny to look
point.
back at them.
I might clean it up at some point.
One
Not that-
thing that I noticed that too is like you're saying you look back at all your old pictures and everything. One thing that I definitely like you say you deleted the pictures. Like I go back and I've deleted a lot of my captions because like I'll go
really?
back and read them and I'm like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Like why would I even type that?
Yeah.
And then I just erase it and I'll leave the picture with no caption.
Yeah.
Like I've said, I don't know, my captions have been like out of pocket, like just some
Like
crazy.
what?
I can't give you an example, but I don't even know, like stuff that I'm just looking back and I'm like, I remember like what was it, like old Instagram. I literally just got my cat and I just captioned it new cat, like I don't know.
Well, that's what the picture is.
No, I know, but just like I don't
Pretty
know.
functional caption.
Yeah, like, there was a picture of me
Straightforward.
when I was in like 5th grade on one of my Instagrams, like with my dad, and we were like on the back deck, and I just wrote "doing a paint job." I'm like narrating the picture. I don't know. I just thought it was funny, and like looking back at those, and like just
Yeah.
nowadays, I would never write something like that.
Mm-hmm. That's like a status.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that was the times too. We transitioned from like Facebook and
yeah,
into that. And yeah, Facebook statuses would be like just crying today.
Well, I never even use it. I have a Facebook. I just recently made it. Really, only for like Facebook Marketplace. Like I've never posted anything on it. And like I'll get follow requests or friend requests, whatever it's called, and like I don't even accept them because I just don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have people that send me stuff on Facebook. I haven't used Facebook in years.
You mean Nana?
Yeah, anyone. I mean, just like I have like I'll see like someone from like high school like send me like a message or a request or something. Like the one time a year I log onto Facebook to like use it as like a way to sign into something else or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
And like I'll see all these like stacked up notifications and I'm like, who uses this?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't use Snapchat at all. The only thing I'll use Snapchat for is just like record like a stupid video, just like go through my Snapchat memories is fun once in a while because like I used it a lot when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really only use Instagram and I guess TikTok. That's about it. Like I don't use Snapchat. I don't use Twitter. Which now it's X, but I don't use any of those.
Mm-hmm.
I use Twitter a lot.
I have one Twitter account and it's just like all for crypto stuff. I follow like 12 different crypto people and I just look at what they say. That's the only sort of Twitter I use.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you guys have any current goals? I know we talked about future selves and that can be a goal in itself, but anything like personal development goals right now, or it could even be like that half marathon that you just signed up for.
That's
something
definitely
like that.
mine, which that's going to be a huge part of like my next month is just mentally training for that, which
Yeah.
I'm excited physically and mentally, which I'm excited for though. So I mean, I'm in it for the journey and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I'm planning on doing a full Ironman
Nice.
in October. So I think that's like physical, and then I think personal
happen.
What's the difference with the distances on a half Ironman and a full Ironman?
Half is 70, full is 140.
And what the 140 has? What's it split up?
I think it's like a 5-6 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and then a full marathon.
Jesus, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's sick though.
Yeah, I don't know. So, like, after I finished the half Ironman, I don't know if it was adrenaline or whatever, but I felt fine physically, and I felt very unfulfilled, which was like,
Really?
yeah,
That's interesting.
because I was just like, I don't know. I only really trained for this for 2 months. I finished. I was like relatively high in terms of like age group percentage, especially for not doing anything like this before, having like a background in it. And the next day, I literally, after my race, got in the car, 8-hour drive with my mom, went back home. The next day, woke up, all 5 hours sleep, took a train, was in Martha's Vineyard by like noon. And I was like fucking around on the beach for an entire week. Like, no pain. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't affect my schedule at all.
Yeah.
It was like a minor hiccup. It was like a weekend activity.
Would you have rather thought about it longer and had a different kind of come down from that?
I don't know.
Not
it's
that
just
it
like,
needs a come down, but like, I guess acknowledging it or like reflecting.
no, I mean, I was happy. I just think, like, once again, it's kind of going from like half marathon to full marathon. It's like,
You know, there's more that you could do.
yeah, there's more that I
Okay.
could do. And I kind of feel like I kind of want to get like the infinity stones when it comes to this stuff. Like I want like to do well, not only finish, but do well with like a full marathon.
Mm-hmm.
I've already done the half Ironman, do a full marathon. And then I'd like to do an ultra marathon, which
I was
is
gonna say ultra's what, like 100 miles or something?
an ultra technically is anything above like
Yeah.
26.
Some kid I went to high school with, he just did some run. I don't even know where it was, but like
Yeah.
it was either 100 miles or you pretty much just keep running, and the person who ends up going the longest and they're the last person to stop.
Yeah.
Like, wins.
Really?
There's a
Yeah.
few of them like that.
I've never heard of
And
that.
the guy that I knew, I think he ended up stopping at like mile like 84 or something.
Yeah.
He said there
Damn.
was still a bunch of people still running, and like
How
he had
long
to
does
stop.
that take?
I think
Days.
I think they started. I think he said he started at 3 or 4 in the morning,
They take
and then
days.
he ran like just straight through the whole day pretty much.
Have you ever been intrigued by climbing Mount Everest?
I was actually planning on doing it.
I'm not surprised. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I've always thought about like it'd definitely be really cool, but it's also scary as shit. Like,
yeah.
Well, it's very expensive. Any sort of summit is very expensive.
Have you ever climbed?
I climbed a volcano in Guatemala last year. But there's climbing is like a whole different thing. Like there's like ice climbing,
Yeah.
rock climbing, and then some of these mountains like Kilimanjaro, it's almost like a trail, just
Yeah.
like an extended hike.
Mm.
But with Everest, like if you want to summit Mount Everest, that will cost you like upwards of 6 figures. If you want to go to base camp, you can do that for like maybe like $2,500 worth of flights, and then like $1,500 worth of like spend on like a guide or whatever. But like that being said, like Mount Everest base camp is like a relatively easy achievement. Like I know it doesn't like you say like, oh, you're gonna go to Mount Everest. It's like Everest base camp is like very, very easy.
What is base camp?
If you were to summit, that's where you would go. And like
summit meaning reach the top.
yeah,
Okay.
like the base camp is like just kind of where you would keep your home base, but like not at the bottom of the mountain, you know. It's like the home base like close to the peak.
Why is that relatively easy?
Because like you don't really have to like wear an oxygen mask. You know what I mean? You don't have to like the level of difficulty to do that versus to summit is like tenfold.
Is the base how high up is the base camp? Is it like halfway or is
I don't know, but so many people go there that like it's notorious for being disgusting with trash.
Really?
Yeah, it's like very dirty.
I'm surprised. That's like disrespectful.
Yeah, and I don't know, like the Sherpa like Buddhist culture is also like they're very like I don't know, they like think these mountains are alive most of the time, and they're like grateful for them and they pray to them. So I don't really know why they allow it to happen.
Mm.
Do you have any like motivational person for you for like marathons and like all your endurance stuff? Whether it's like David Goggins or something like that.
No, not really.
Your dad at all?
My dad, like, he did a lot of this stuff, but like,
Because your parents ran the New York City Marathon together, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I didn't know that until yesterday.
I remember being a little kid watching them like cross the finish line, or we went to like one of the checkpoints, whatever.
Yeah, I remember them getting pizza the night before.
Yeah.
That I don't remember.
I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, it's super cool. My dad did all this stuff, but to be fully honest, that's not the reason I got into it.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe it's just something you more like have in common at this point.
Yeah.
You were even doing boxing at one point, weren't you?
Yeah.
When you were younger?
Like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what was your name?
I don't want to say.
Okay.
Well, your dad used to box too, though, right? Didn't he that got you into that?
Yeah.
Did you ever have any like actual like fights or matches, or it was just more of like a training thing?
No, just training. I never sparring. I never had like a match.
What you had a funny like boxing name?
Yeah, it's just like a stupid name.
What if you say it and we just bleep it out?
James?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. What gets you through your worst days?
Just knowing there's like the good ones, I guess, like because like everybody's gonna go through problems and like struggle with stuff, but it's like how you, I don't know. I always think about how I'm gonna overcome them and how it's gonna like make me into a better person, and just knowing that there's obviously a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And just like thinking the positives of it, like how it's gonna benefit me in the long run, and like not like and you have to understand too that everybody has bad days. Like
Totally.
Instagram and social media is all like a highlight reel of everybody's lives, and comparison and is like the thief of joy, which is like a very common saying. But like just try not to compare yourself to people, and if you're having a bad day, it happens, and you're gonna end up turning it around and have a good day. So
Yeah, my vision board has a bad day as part of a good life.
mine is I have like picture of apartment keys because I want to get my own apartment. I have a picture of
Should have lived with me. Fucker.
I have a picture of a camera that I eventually want to get, but also just signifies learning how to use my camera better and like take more pictures and stuff. I have a picture of the drone that I have to learn how to use that better and everything. I have my original business card that I made, like my fake one, like my little test one. My first check that I got from my company, I have it
Nice.
tacked up there. I have a picture of like a number of like what I want my bank account to look like. I have a picture of like a stock thing to learn more about stocks and crypto and all that stuff and investing and just being smarter with my money. I have like just a bunch of quotes, like I said, feel the fear, do it anyway. I have networking. I have like no procrastination, because I was always a big procrastinator growing up too, which now that I'm getting through like not doing it, it definitely feels good. Like you feel more accomplished when you actually get something done. You know you didn't put anything off to the side. You're just getting it done.
Yeah.
Or even if you make a plan, like I used to just like say I'm gonna do it at a later date and never do it. Like now I've also been like really organized with like my schedule, and I have like my whole schedule on like a widget on my computer screen. So every morning I wake up, I see my schedule and I see my like the vision board, and it definitely like motivates me to like not procrastinate and just get done with my tasks.
All my recent like past year hard days, like I was very good about like keeping a routine during it. Like I would wake up, I'd do a workout, like do some sort of like wellness, mindfulness activity, go outside. Just like I did all the stuff you needed to do, but really like it just comes down to time. Like I think like you maintaining like positive activities through like a hard time just like expedites the amount of time it takes for you to get to like a point where you feel like good again, or like where you get back to where you were, versus like if you're in your bed and you're just like complaining, it's like it's gonna take you longer to get to that same point again.
That's huge.
So like it doesn't matter. Like I still woke up every day and I felt like shit, or I was sad or whatever, but it's like I'm still gonna try and just like keep pushing, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just like expedite, like it's not like gonna make it any easier, it's not gonna make it any better, but that's all it is. It's just like shaving away.
Yeah.
Like every second you're doing something you're just shaving seconds off like the amount of time it takes you to
Yeah.
get back to that point.
No, that's awesome. That's such a good point. I feel like I learned that this year because, like, there can be certain times where I feel really low, and I feel like in the past I would just feel really low, and that was like my day. It was like, I'm just having a bad day, so I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be in this feeling, and then it would make it last longer.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing anything to make myself feel better. I'm like wallowing in the low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard something similar to that somewhere. And I also really just didn't want to feel that low again. So I was like, what can I do? And keeping that routine, still waking up, still working out, still eating well, still drinking water, get outside, go for a walk, still doing all those things, even though it can feel like you're like dragging yourself sometimes. Doing that does definitely expedite the process of feeling better. So
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's better than, like you said, just sitting in the, like, your thoughts and everything, rather than just going out and trying to do something that will make you feel better.
Totally.
Even just to get your mind off of it, like
Yeah.
going to the gym, especially, like you going to the gym and like working out, and then you get out of the gym and like you feel mentally better that you did do something beneficial for yourself too.
Yeah, movement helps so much. Well, guys,
Yeah.
it's been really good to have you and have you on. You guys are both, I feel like, just really great examples for this topic that we talked about today. Like, I know being your cousin, just different things that we've all gone through, and you've both just continued to like come out on the other side and keep pushing forward, and you're both extremely ambitious and just have really good heads that you just keep working on yourselves and on your goals. And so I'm really glad that we got to have this conversation. You guys
Likewise.
yeah,
Me too.
yeah, you guys motivated you guys inspired the thought for this topic, because I was like, this is perfect to talk to you guys about, because you also both do things for your own health and wellness.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it was definitely fun. It was my first podcast. I was definitely nervous going into it, but then as soon as we start talking, like, the nerves kind of go away, and it just feels like we're having a conversation.
yeah, we're just chilling.
I don't know. Once you focus on your health and wellness was the best thing I've ever added to my routine. And if someone doesn't feel the same way, they're not doing it to the extent which they should, in any capacity, whether it's like movement, diet.
Combination of both.
Yeah, combination of both. Anything related to mental health, whether it's just thinking or breathing.
Or 20 minutes to yourself in the morning.
Yeah,
Yep,
whatever
anything.
whatever
Anything.
capacity you want to incorporate it,
Mm-hmm.
it will be the best thing you've done for yourself. So,
Absolutely.
bye,
Bye,
homies.
Bye, homies.